In this episode, I'm going to be telling you guys how you can self-sponsor your work visa to the UK. So if you're interested in immigrating to the United Kingdom, whether it's Scotland, whether it's England, whether it's Wales or Northern Ireland, and you're thinking, Fuse, how can I take my destiny in my hands and self-sponsor my work visa to the UK? Well, in this video, I'm going to be telling you about a visa category for the UK that gives you the ability to self-sponsor your work visa. So if you want to know more about this particular visa category, I guess you should give me just 1 second. I'm going to dash up to the market and you guys already know what comes next.
You know the way I do it when I drop lyrical. Anytime I spit lyrical, philosophical. All the niggas mimical, but this fair still on taking literal. Punchlines collateral. Maximum damage.
Hello YouTube, hello Chronicles, how are you all doing today? It's still your value-based King Fuse from FuseChronicles.com. We are your one-stop place for everything and anything that has to do with travel, tourism, and lifestyle. And we don't make any other content apart from these 3 areas. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet and you're interested in traveling to select countries all around the world, I think you might be making a mistake. Why don't you think about going down, smashing the subscribe button, turning on the notification bell, liking our video, and sharing them with your friends, acquaintances, and family members. Okay? Now guys, someone sent me a message on LinkedIn. Okay, so someone slid into my profile on LinkedIn and sent me a message telling me, Fuse, I know about the skilled workers visa, I know about the charity work visa, I know about the health and caregiver visa, but all these visa categories means you need to get companies, employers in the UK to sponsor your visa. Is it possible? Is it indeed possible for me to take my destiny into my hands and sponsor my own work visa to the UK? Well, lady, yes, it is very, very possible. Now, that's what the Global Talent Visa is for. Now, the Global Talent Visa is a visa category for the UK that enables leaders, exceptional leaders, or potential leaders in companies all around the world to get a visa to come into the United Kingdom to work in select fields, okay? So there are 3 fields with sub-niches that they can get to work in. So the field of academia and research, art and culture, and digital technology. Now, these 3 fields have sub-niches, different other areas that they can also work. I think for the first one, the academia and research, there are other 6 disciplines under that one, the same with art and culture and the same with digital technology. I'm going to be breaking all the disciplines and all the other levels under these 3 fields that you guys can take advantage of if you're professionals in those areas to apply for the Global Talent Visa. So I want you guys to watch this video to the very end. I'm going to be dissecting the Global Talent Visa and showing you how to take advantage of this visa, how to apply for the visa, and everything by way of documentation that you need to present to be able to stand a greater chance of being granted this visa for you and your family to make your way to the United Kingdom, okay? If you are looking to apply for the Global Talent Visa, obviously because you want to sponsor your work visa to the UK, first things first, you need to be at least 18 years and above before you can apply for this visa. Second thing that you need to bear in mind is there is a validation stage. This is a 2-stage process to applying for this visa. The first stage is the endorsement stage, and the second stage is you applying for the visa. Now, the endorsement stage is the stage where the UK Home Office, through the High Commission or the embassy in your countries, actually goes in and runs that due diligence on your application, your endorsement application, to prove that you are indeed a leader or a potential leader or someone of substance, significance in the field that you're working in. So they're going to take your application for endorsement, and they're going to get companies that are very competent in this field, and they're going to go through all your work. And the substance or the quality of your work is what is going to tell them that, listen, this man, this woman is a top shot, is a top honcho in this field. Maybe it's the field of nanotechnology, maybe it's the field of fintech or financial technology or whatever. They will check your work, check your research, check everything you've done in this field, and then if you merit this, they're going to endorse that application. And after you endorse the application, you move on to the next phase. But I'm going to be talking more about this when I come around to telling you guys about what you need to apply for this visa. I'm going to try to break down all the sub-disciplines under the three fields that I told you earlier that makes up the areas where people can apply for this particular visa category from. It's not open to everybody, okay? It's not open to everybody. This visa category is more targeted and more specific. Okay, now for the field of academia and research, I'm going to be telling you the 4 to 5 sub areas or sub disciplines under this particular field where professionals from here can apply for the global talent visa. If you are working in the field of science, maybe you are a biochemist, or maybe you are a physicist, or you're working in the field of medicine. So maybe you were a physician, maybe you studied anatomy and you've been working in this field for a while, or maybe you are in the area of humanities. So maybe you studied philosophy and you're going around doing stuff that have to do with people, volunteer work and stuff like this. You can apply for this visa under the field of academia and researchers. Now, people who are in universities or higher institutions teaching in this particular fields can also apply under this field. What about people who are working in the field of arts and culture? If you are working in the area of combined arts, so literature, music, acting, the theater, visual arts, architecture, fashion design, movie making, movie production, animation, or you're working on films and television in general, you are eligible to apply for the Global Talent Visa. What about people working in the field of digital technology? So if you're working as maybe in a fintech startup, maybe you are a pioneer in the fintech industry, or you work in this industry, or you work in the gaming sector, maybe you know how to design games, or you're a game tester, or you work in cyber security, or even artificial intelligence. You can apply for the Global Talent Visa under digital technology. You're definitely going to be considered. Now, what do you need? How can you be eligible to apply for the Global Talent Visa? Maybe you work in all these sectors. What do you need to be eligible apart from being someone who is competent or who is an operator in all three of these fields that are recognized under this visa category? There's still some other criteria for eligibility that you need to have. If not, you would not be granted this visa, even though you are a key player in these three fields that I just listed. So what are they? In all three fields I just talked about, if it's possible for you to land a job with a UK employer, if it's possible for you to land a job with a UK employer, you've done it. your work is done. In fact, you don't even need to be endorsed. You don't need to apply for an endorsement to get this visa. You can skip the endorsement stage and move straight to the visa application stage. However, while the skilled worker visa for the UK or the charity work visa for the UK or the health and caregiver visa for the UK, while those visa categories need you to get a certificate of sponsorship, the Global Talent Visa does not require you to get a certificate of sponsorship at all. If you were to get a company in the United Kingdom to offer you employment, what the UK Home Office is going to require is a letter from that company that categorically states your name and your surname, what you're going to be doing for the company, in what capacity they're hiring you for, how you were able to pass the recruitment stage. They're trying to make sure that the recruitment was competitive and they didn't just hand the position to you on a silver platter. But even if they were to hand the position to you on a silver platter, why this happened? Why did they just give this position to you? And they also want to make sure the board of recruiters, the people who were overseeing the recruitment process, there were people who were competent in that field, the field you're applying into, that gave their professional input into hiring you for that position. Now, this is for people who have gotten jobs, but like I said, this is not mandatory. You don't even need to get a job to be able to get the Global Talent Visa. The second criteria for eligibility is if you have been awarded any form of prize, okay? So maybe you were a beneficiary of maybe the BAFTA award. So you were an actor or you were a filmmaker, and you got a BAFTA award for one of your projects, or you got an Emmy award, or you got an MTV award, or a Movie Academy Screens Award. If you've won a prize for your work, maybe you are a Nobel laureate, okay? This is far-fetched because there are not too many of those out there. But if you've been awarded any form of recognition for your piece or your body of work, this makes you instantaneously eligible for the Global Talent Visa as long as you fall under the 3 fields I talked about earlier. This also jumps you and makes you skip the endorsement stage, okay? Now, if you have not gotten work, you are not an individual fellow in the scholastic environment or as a researcher or as an academician or a lecturer and that kind of stuff, and you don't have this body of work, and you've not been given research grants that have been approved by the UK Research and Innovation, then your application for the Global Talent Visa is going to go through what is known as a peer review stage. Now, the peer review of your application simply means the Home Office is going to take your application and give it to a company or a board of professionals in your field for them to review your application. They go through your body of work that you would have to submit with your application, and their job basically is to validate you as that consummate professional in the field, to try to investigate, kind of act like a devil's advocate to make sure that you are who indeed you say you are. So you might say you're a professor in physics or you're a professor in mathematics and you've written this book and you've postulated this theory and you're recognized in the field of mathematics or physics. This company, you're going to review your body of work and find out whether it's of the quality that is going to influence this field in the United Kingdom. That's basically what the peer review does. Now, if you pass this stage, obviously you're going to get endorsed. That's what peer review is for. You're going to get endorsed by the company or the professionals that are going to review your application. They're going to endorse you and say, this person, we love what we see. This person is top-notch in this field. He's going to actually influence the advancement of this field in the UK. And when you get this done, you can speedily move to the next phase, which is the application, the online application or the online visa application stage. Now you're going to ask me, how much views? How much is it going to set me back, or is it going to set me and my family members back to apply for the Global Talent Visa? Global Talent Visa for the UK is going to require you to pay an application fee of £608. However, if you are applying for an endorsement so that a company or board of professionals are going to check your body of work and endorse you as a professional before you move to the next phase, which is the visa application phase, you can pay this fee in 2 phases. The initial phase is an amount of £456 that you're going to pay while you are filling the online endorsement form, okay? The second amount, which is your visa application fee, is £152. This is the amount you're going to pay for your online visa application form. So don't forget, 2-phase payment for those going for the endorsement stage and then the visa application phase. The first one is £456 for those applying for endorsement, and £152 for those applying for the visa, online visa application after that. If you have gotten any form of recognition by virtue of a prize or of an award for your body of work, you don't need to go through the 2-step process. You can pay the £608 in full and skip the endorsement stage and move directly to the visa application phase. I'm going to be telling you the documentation that you're going to require to apply for the visa very shortly. But first, you might ask me, Fuse, what about language requirements? What about salary cap? Do I need to be a good English speaker? Do I need to think about salary cap? That is one of the requirements that dogs the skilled worker visa for the UK. What about these 2 factors? Number 1, you don't need IELTS for the Global Talent Visa. You don't need it. This requirement is waived. You also don't need to fall into a salary cap, meaning you don't need to earn an amount or an exact amount of money to be able to be guaranteed a visa under the Global Talent Visa for the UK. And something else that makes this visa category very amazing is the fact that when you get granted your Global Talent Visa to come to the UK for work, you can either work as an employee, you can work as an employer, or you could work as a director of a company. And if you get to the UK, you can literally get to the UK without getting a job offer from a company. You can get to the UK and then start to look for work. And when you get a job and somehow you don't like the type of work you got, you can resign your commission in that company, get another job with a different company, and you don't need to report the changes in your employment to the UK Home Office. This is wicked. This is just amazing. You don't need to be bothered about whether someone is watching you, looking over your shoulder. You are in total control of the situation under the Global Talent Visa. Like, that is not even good enough. Like, that is not even awesome enough. One more thing. The Global Talent Visa for the UK can give you up to 5 years to stay in the UK. And you can always renew it before it expires. So before it expires, you can renew it and get another 5 years, renew it and get another 5 years. And this can be done for infinite amount of times. There's no limit to the amount of extension you can get on your Global Talent Visa. And when you get your Global Talent Visa for the first time, the first 5 years, as long as you do 3 years out of that 5 years, you can apply for an indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which is another word for permanent residency in the UK. However, you need to meet all eligibility criteria to be considered for an indefinite leave to remain or a permanent residency. Now, when you get a Global Talent Visa, You're going to get all the conditions that guide that visa on your passport, on the stamp page for your visa. So you're going to know what to do and what not to do. Now someone out there is screaming at me, Fuse, what documents do I need to submit? I'm interested. You sold me, Fuse. What documents do I need to tender? I'm going to tell you this shortly. Just be patient. Be patient, okay? Number one, you're going to need a valid passport. You're going to need a valid passport. You cannot apply for a global talent visa without a valid passport. And your passport, no matter how valid it is, it must have at least 2 free pages for your visa to be stamped. Okay, if your passport is valid and there are no free spaces on the passport, you are not going to be granted this visa. And if you are from a country that requires that you take a tuberculosis test, you would be required. Usually, most countries in Africa and some countries in South America and the Middle East, Asia, are required to take tuberculosis tests. You're going to require this as well. And if you studied in the United Kingdom under scholarship, either by a corporate society that sponsored your study or the government of your country or some other country that sponsored your study, you're going to require a letter from whoever sponsored or gave you a scholarship to study in the United Kingdom to say that they are aware that you are looking to apply for a global talent visa for the UK. If your documentation are not in English, you would need to get a certified translator who is going to have to translate your documents. Now, this has to be an official, high-ranking translator. The person has to put his name or her name, phone number, email address. If the person has a website, you have to put it in the document as well. All documents you're submitting for the Global Talent Visa has to be in English. Okay, they don't take French, they don't take Dutch, they take only English. If you're from outside the European Economic Area or the EU or Switzerland, you need to submit a valid passport. I said this earlier. And even if you're from the EU and you have a passport that doesn't have a chip in it, you also would need to submit a passport that is valid. And if you were awarded any prize because of your body of work, or you were given an award because of your body of work, or achievement or your award will need to go through some level of scrutiny. You're going to go to the website of whatever organization that gave you this award that you're using to apply for the Global Talent Visa. They're going to investigate it. The UK Home Office is going to investigate it. And they're not going to reach out to you while investigating it because they expect that the award that you were issued is going to be on the official website of the organization or the institution that issued this award to you. But in event that they go through the website and they reach out to them and they don't have a history of your award or the prize you were given, they're going to reach out to you to send them an evidence that this award was won by yourself. Okay? These are stages that you cannot jump. It's very important because if they can ascertain that you got given an award or some form of prize, you don't need an endorsement. You can go straight to apply for this visa. Now, somebody might ask me, Fuse, how can I apply for an endorsement? How can I apply for the Global Talent Visa? It's very, very simple. Fuse Chronicles, we got you guys covered. You should go to the Fuse Chronicles website. Very, very simple. It's the most recent article. Let me just close this ad. It's the most recent article on our website. Come to the Fuse Chronicles. You just see it there. The most recent article, Global Talent Visa UK, the easiest way to self-sponsor your UK work visa. So this is it. Everything here is about the Global Talent Visa. Okay, so I'm going to take you down to all the application forms so you see how to apply for it. Okay, so if you want to know about the eligible awards or the prizes and awards that are recognized by UK Home Office, is right here. I'm going to open it and I'm going to show you guys all the awards, all 3 fields. So I'm talking about the academia, research field, arts and culture field, digital technology. All recognized awards are here. So they're here in different categories. So you can see Global Talent Architect Prizes, Global Talent Arts and Culture Prizes, Global Talent Digital Technology Prizes, Fashion Design Industry, Film and Television Prizes, Science, Engineering, Humanities, and Medicine prizes. These are all, if you click all these links, it's going to take you to all recognized awards, and then you know if the one you got is recognized by the UK Home Office. And I'm going to take you even more. I'm going to take you to the application for endorsement, okay? So you guys know everything is here, everything about all 3 fields, they're all here. So you guys can check out the Fuse Chronicles website. Let me just take you down to the criteria, the application forms, I beg your pardon. So this is the documents you need. Why is it taking so much? Okay, how to apply. So this is the endorsement. Apply for an endorsement. So just you click, it's going to take you to the online application form. So all you do here is you just register your email and you create a password and save and continue. It's going to take you to the endorsement form, and then you can start to fill away. Now let me take you to the visa application, okay? Give me a minute, let me close this. So the visa application is also down here, okay? So that's the visa application. Takes you to the website, the Home Office website, where you guys can apply online. All applications are online. There's no paper-based application. So you select, are you planning to live in England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland, or Jersey, Guernsey, or Isle of Man? You can click your option and continue. It's all here. So the Fuse Chronicles website, guys, we got you guys, okay? Don't worry about it. Now, one final thing before I leave you guys. Two final things before I leave you guys. When you are paying for your visa application fee, the £608, remember I told you, if you're going to go through the 2-stage process of endorsement and then visa application, you're going to have to divide it to pay the first 600 on the £456 for your endorsement application and £152 for your visa application. And if you have an award, you can skip that and go straight to the visa application. Each person that's going to be traveling with you has to pay the mandatory £624, which is a healthcare surcharge. So if you're traveling with you, the primary applicant, and a dependent who might be your husband or your wife and a child or 2 children or 3 children, each person that's traveling with you has to pay individual £608 to apply for this visa and £624 to apply for the health care surcharge. This is non-negotiable, okay? And you can apply together or you can apply individually. But your family members or your dependents are going to use your Global Talent Visa application number and put it in their own application. That's what links you guys together, okay? That's what links you guys together. Another thing that you need to know is if you are already in the United Kingdom, under a skilled worker visa, you can switch to a global talent visa if you meet the criteria for eligibility. If you are with a charity work visa, you can also switch to a global talent visa if you meet the criteria for eligibility. Okay? Now, there are people who do not qualify. There are people who do not qualify for the global talent visa. Now, one, people who are with a visitor's visa to the UK. So you're traveling to the UK for the winter. You just want to just go, oh my God, let me go see the London Tower, the London Bridge, not the London Eye, and you just want to visit England or the UK as a tourist. You are not eligible to apply for the global talent visa. People who are traveling with a child who is going to the UK to study, you are not eligible for a global talent visa. People who are under what is known as an immigration bail, you are not eligible. People that have been allowed to travel to the UK on a compassionate ground, you are not eligible for a global talent visa. And finally, people who are going to study in the UK on a short course, 3 months to 6 months, you are not eligible for a global talent visa. If you are under this aforementioned categories and you still want to apply for the global talent visa for the UK, you have to leave the UK, go back to your country and reapply to be accepted in. And if you're reapplying, you need to fall under the 3 fields and the sub-disciplines that I mentioned at the start of this video. Come on, guys. This video was value-packed. What are you saying? If you love this video and you love the content and somehow you didn't grab a word of what I was saying, maybe I was talking gibberish and you didn't understand anything I was saying, go down to the comment section and leave your inquiries down there. If I was too fast, you can play the video again and modulate the speed by going to the settings tab, click the gear icon and change the speed levels to the one that suits your understanding level. And if the comment section below is too public for you, you can follow me on social media. We're active on 3 social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Slide into my DMs on any of these platforms with your inquiry. I always respond to every inquiry. Even though people cuss me out sometimes on TikTok, I still respond to them. So leave your messages on the social media platforms that we're active in. And if you want to know the handle, it's up there. It's up there at Fuse Chronicles, okay? And guys, I want to believe this video was very valuable. I want to believe it was value-packed. At least now, you now know how to self-sponsor your work visa to the UK using the Global Talent Visa for the UK. If this video was helpful to you, why don't you do your boy a favor by smashing the subscribe button, turning on the notification bell, liking this video and sharing it with your friends and family members. In our next episode, I'm going to be coming out with even more jobs, more openings, urgent openings for people interested in going to the UK for work, okay? So guys, like I always say at the end of every video, this information I'm giving you guys is a torch. It's a lighted candle I'm giving to you right about now, and I want you to use this flame to light other candles. Spread the word so those who don't know would know, and together we can start a silent revolution, okay? And if you want to know more, about other ways that you could go to the UK with, other visa categories like the skilled work visa for the UK, why don't you click that video that's going to pop up to my right. It's going to take you to a video where I dissected the UK skilled worker visa, and then you can even compare it with the skilled or the global talent visa for the UK and know the one that you feel is best for your needs. And until the next one, I remain your value-based king, Fuse. I'll catch you guys on the next cut. Bye-bye for now.